What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to create this beautiful rose gold eye look, something that is perfect for New Year's Eve. This is all going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. So if you would like to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. So the first thing I'm going to do is prep my eyes. For that, I'm going to use the NYX eyeshadow base. To put it on, I'm going to use a MAC 242 brush. Just going to apply that to both lids. Just apply a little bit, and then I'm just going to blend it in with my finger. This really does not have to be perfect. I could use even just a little bit of your foundation, a little bit of your concealer, just to create a nice smooth canvas for your eyeshadow and to make it last all day. So next we're going to go into the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is what we're going to be using for our entire look today. So the first shade we're going to use is this one right here, just for our crease, and it's called Pooter. So I'm just going to pop that onto a big fluffy blending brush. Just warming up my crease and getting us ready for the darker shades. So during this stage, don't worry too much about being precise. Just rub a small amount onto your big blending brush and just apply it right along the top of your crease. So just gonna go ahead and do that on the other eye as well. Once again, not worrying too much about exact placement. So I'm kind of just making small circular motions like this with my brush. And just once again, just trying to keep it in this crease area right here. So the next shade I'm going to use is Buns, and I'm going to use a bit more of a tapered crease brush to apply this shade. For this step, I'm going to be a little bit more careful, just creating a line across my crease. The one tip for this is you can almost put your brush right at the corner of your eye, and then just looking straight forward, you can run your brush right along your crease, and it will create the perfect line for you. And you can also bring it in a little bit into your inner corner. So you can just keep going in and blending out with your bigger blending brush as well. Blending is always welcome. Now that we've deepened up our eye a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and cut our crease, and we're going to apply our lid shade. And then we're going to go back in after and darken it up a little bit. So now we're going to cut our crease. For that, I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape. This is the same concealer I used for my under eyes, and you can use any concealer that you have. So I just applied some to the back of my hand, and I'm just going to use a very small detail brush, and then just go in with this right onto my lid. Same trick here to cut your crease. If you just look straight ahead, you can run your brush right along your lid and will create that perfect cut crease. So you're going to want to bring the concealer just under the brow bone. So if you were to feel with your finger, you could feel your brow bone here, and you're going to want to bring your concealer right to the bottom of your brow bone and just above where the natural hood of your eye goes. For our lid, we are going to use this beautiful shade right here. This is called Faint, once again from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And for this, I am going to wet my brush just to give it that extra pigmented look. To wet my brush, I'm going to use Fix Plus. To apply the lid shade, I'm going to do patting motions. And then when I get close to the cut crease line, I'm going to do small sweeping strokes, making sure I'm really creating that harsh line. Next, we're going to dip into this shade here. This is Mocha from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to be using the MAC 217 brush. Honestly, these shadows are super pigmented, so I'm doing like one dip into the palette. So we're going to take this shade now and just apply it. We're going to just press it gently onto the outer corner, and then we can build up the depth as we go. After you dip into your shade, apply it to this portion. And then with whatever is remaining, you can drag it across the top to deepen up the crease as well. And then every once in a while, you can drag any extra you have here under your eye. So if ever you look at your eye and it starts to look crazy, just grab a big fluffy blending brush, a clean brush, and then you can just go ahead and run that along just to blend in the shadows. Because the brush is clean, you don't have to worry too much about being perfect. You can kind of just go across the top and just, that will give it that super airbrushed look. So I'm just going to dip in one last time because it looks like this eye is still a little bit darker. So just go back and forth, make sure both eyes are the same darkness on the corner, and then we can move on to the next step. Because I want this corner to be a little bit more clean, I'm going to go back in with some concealer on the back of my hand. Just dip in with my beauty blender, and I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my under eyes. So I'm just squishing my beauty blender like this just to make it smaller. They do make smaller size beauty blenders for under your eyes, but if you only have the one size, you can just squish it and then just try to make sure you don't go into your highlighter, all the hard work you've already done. So that is perfect. So for my next step, we are going to do a winged liner. The one I'm going to use is Black Track by MAC. So what's super cool about this liner is that it's actually a bunch of little brushes, brush hairs together, whereas some of the other ones are the felt tip liners, where I find like the felt tip liner ones, they dry out really fast, and also the point always kind of goes like this, and you can never get that super sharp line. If anyone has any suggestions for any liquid eyeliners that they absolutely love, please leave a comment down below. The biggest trick to liquid eyeliner is don't be afraid. You just have to go for it. Being super cautious just ends up making it a mess. What I find is that making one smooth line, one quick smooth line, just like ripping off a band-aid. What I typically do is kind of aim it towards my the point of my eyebrow, not my natural eyebrow, but the one that I drew on. This is probably going to be super hard for me to do on camera, but I am going to try my best to show you guys. So I'm going to put my brush just right below the furthest point for my liner. And then just drag it across your lid. From there, you can just fill in and fix any mistakes that you made. The next thing we're going to do is just mimic the colors we used in our crease under our eye. So first, we're going to go in with shade Pooter, our favorite shade. Ooh. And we're just going to run that along the lower lash line. I find if you make the stupid face, it helps a lot. And then second, we're going to go with the shade Buns, which was just a little bit darker. Does anyone else feel like they can never find anything they're looking for? Finally. So I'm also just going to run a bit of black eyeliner along my waterline. I like to use just a pencil liner to line my waterline. I feel like it lasts a lot longer. The liquid eyeliners are just hard and they just end up, your eyes just water and they end up rubbing off. The next step we're going to do is I am going to use the Too Faced glitter liner. This is in the shade Yes Way Rose. I'm going to take this liner and just line right on top of where we've already placed our black liner, just to give it that extra glittery New Year's Eve super fun feel. So I'm just going to go back in with my brush stroke and clean up any glitter that I got on my black liner. Next is my second favorite step in the makeup process, which is applying false lashes. I'm going to be using the Lily lashes in the style Miami. These lashes are beautiful, but expensive, but worth it. So to apply my lashes, I am going to be using a set of tweezers, which I would highly recommend versus just using your fingers. If you haven't tried it yet, try it out. So don't apply too much lash glue. I definitely found this out the hard way. Just apply a thin layer across the entire lash and then let it dry for 1 to 2 minutes. Might even give it a little blow. Now that I see my lashes ready to apply, I'm going to once again grab it with my tweezers right into the middle of the lash And I'm going to apply my lash right to the middle of my eye first, and then I am going to move over to the outside of my lash and then to the inside of my lash. So I'm going to see if I can do this for you guys on camera. So I am going to apply my lash right to the middle, press it in, pick up my tweezers, pick up the outside of my lash, stick that down, and then I'm going to move to the inside of my lash and press that down. It's just that easy. So the best thing to do is just leave it. Don't play around with it too much. Just let the glue adhere to your eye. I just popped on the other lash. You can see that these lashes are super dramatic, super beautiful. The second last step I'm going to do is apply the Maybelline Big Shot Mascara. This is a drugstore mascara. It is affordable and it is awesome. I would recommend it to anyone. So I'm really just going to focus on my lower lashes. I'm just going to coat my upper lashes a little bit just to make sure that they are not looking white or we don't have any makeup on them. And I'm definitely not like coating my entire false lash. Just at the very bottom right here where my natural lashes are, I'm just going to give like a quick gentle coat. And then for my last step, I'm going to do my inner corner highlight. For that, I am going to use the Becca highlighter. This is in the shade Champagne Pop, and it is poppin'. I'm just going to use this very small detail brush to do that. I just dropped my brush. And then just right along my brow bone as well. Voila! So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I'd love to hear from you guys down below in the comments, your plans for New Year's Eve, what your makeup look is going to look like, and see you guys next time.